Hi, it's Rachel from the talent team here at Barfoot & Thompson. Thanks for joining us. Today, continuing our Pathway to Property series, we've got the fabulous Ben Buchanan to join us and to chat a little bit about his career into the property market. So, hey Ben, thanks so much
Hello.
for joining.
Thanks for having me.
No worries, absolutely. So now we were talking before, your career into real estate was quite a change. You had been in aviation engineering.
Yeah, I was an aircraft engineer
Wow,
from New
and
Zealand.
now you've been here for 4 years. So talk to me a little bit about how that thought first came to you, going from aircraft engineering into property.
Yeah, well, I suppose, I do believe most Kiwis are interested in real estate.
Yeah,
They just don't know how it works.
Yes.
And I had that, curiosity in me, as well as being interested in property and working really hard. So naturally, real estate became the answer to all those questions.
Yeah.
And I did have some family friends that were in real estate,
Right,
and
okay.
actually some friends myself as well. So I organised coffees just to make sure that it was what I thought it was, and it seemed to be. So
Nice.
I realised I was young enough
Yeah.
to give it a go.
Two things in that though. One, you talked to people to sort of understand what it was really like. So what was something that maybe you thought it would be like that's actually either different, or you were really pleased you knew the reality before you got in?
I suppose I may have thought of it more as like a job.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's really like running a business. So,
Okay.
and when I say that, it comes with all the benefits of running a business, right?
Yeah.
Like flexibility, the unlimited income,
Mhm.
and other things. Getting
So
to help
you're in charge.
people. You're in charge, right?
Yeah.
So you can really own your life, I suppose.
Okay. You were thinking, it'll be a job, but it's become so much more. It's
So
become
much more. Yeah.
Wow.
You really
goodness.
work. You really work for yourself. As
Nice.
such. Yeah.
And so if someone was similar, thinking, should I get into it? What would be sort of a couple of the 2 or 3 things you say, be prepared for this, understand this is what it's going to be?
I think like anything in life, you got to know what you want.
Okay.
So have your purpose, have your goals, and be hungry, be determined, and you can make anything happen.
Nice.
So.
Now, you mentioned before that, you were quite young, as though that was a good reason to get in.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get the perception that people think, real estate, you've got to be older and know your way around. You actually see being young as a real positive. Can you tell me a bit about that?
I do see it as a positive, and I started out in a successful team as an associate, so
okay.
I suppose that did soften the blow, and sort of get me up to speed with how it works, and have a bit of a clients to work with, and a platform to work under. But I mean, as long as you can relate to people, understand them, and I suppose solve their problems, and transfer some good energy to them, it doesn't matter what age you are. I really believe that.
Nice. And you talked there, and you mentioned it before as well, it's about solving problems and building relationships. You haven't actually said understanding boundary lines or those, so that you really see the key piece of what you do is solving problems and building relationships.
Absolutely. I mean, you need to have the technical knowledge as well, but every day to day is basically dealing with people. Yeah.
Nice, cool. And did you think, were you a people person? Is that what people always said about you, or has that sort of come out a bit in the...
Yeah, I have always enjoyed just being nice to people, helping people, and trying to relate to people. So,
Nice.
I would say I am a people person. Cool. Absolutely.
And, you mentioned that you're an associate. Does that sort of help bridge that financial piece where sometimes when you start property there might not be, the regular income coming in? Was that a good way of doing it?
Absolutely, yeah. There are means and ways of negotiating like a retainer. It's not going to be a large retainer, but enough to get by, to soften the blow and get you into the industry. Obviously different teams offer different things. You can discuss that when you apply.
Nice.
And then, obviously having a platform and clients that you can work with within their database definitely helps.
Cool, that's really good. And if you were saying to your mates or someone else, 1 or 2 of the key transferable skills, say other than the people person, anything in that technical piece as well as the more emotional intelligent piece that you need to have? Anything you can think of?
Yeah, I mean, simple things like even just timekeeping. Like,
Okay.
we'd have an aircraft on the gate that came in from LA and it has to go to Hong Kong in 3 hours. You can't it has to go in 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
Because there's another plane coming in. Same thing with, you know, if you tee up a meeting to go and appraise someone's house
Yeah.
or an auction date, you know, you can't be 5 minutes late because it's just not a great look.
Okay.
So definitely timekeeping and troubleshooting.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's not always by the book.
Yeah.
You know, with planes, you know, there's an issue. Yes, you do read the manuals, but it's not always in there. You do need to think why it's behaving that way.
Okay.
Same with people. You know, why do they feel that way? Are they emotionally involved? You know, why are they thinking that way? And also, you know, troubleshooting with what they want. So hearing them out. You know, they want a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, and you know, you got to go find that for them. So solve their problem.
Nice. And specifically Barfoot and Thompson, like, you know, you've been successful, especially 4 years in. You probably got, you know, people knocking on the door. What is it about Barfoot and Thompson that keeps you here that you enjoy?
Well, I mean, even when I was young, I always saw the blue signs around and
Yeah.
sort of knew that, you know, I suppose saw the advertising and it, I saw, you know, I was wondering, I always wondered what it was and sort of knew subconsciously what it was. But having the family friends and just meeting the really nice managers,
Yeah.
supportive, and now I just feel like I've got all I need, you know,
Nice.
and, you know, great support, great network and everything. And, I mean, it's a wonderful beast that offers a lot, you know, and we do sell, I think, up to 50% of all properties in Auckland, so I don't see the need to
Nice.
go anywhere else.
I like that. Did you get some good training and coaching on how to be a real estate agent when you first joined?
I did, yeah. So a big draw card, like I actually grew up in Mount Eden, but a big draw card of me going to the Greylin office was actually to be with Andrew, so my manager, and he offers what he called rookie training at the time.
Yeah.
So 2 days a week, and he gets you up to speed, and you know you do really learn a lot. And you don't just learn a lot; it also gives you a purpose to go into the office. And when you go into the office, one thing always leads to another. You talk to another agent; they offer you to do this listing, to do your open home, or you know. So that's just, it starts snowballing, and you become more successful. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking for someone to coach you. It should be part of when you start interviewing for jobs and see what they'll learn about you, but what can you offer me?
Awesome. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Ben.
No worries.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Please come and join Ben on his pathway to property.
Thank you.